welcome to episode 111. Make a wish, everybody, of the Destiny Digest podcast. I am a host, Danfinity, and I am met and joined by Epic Dan 22.
Oh, hello.
And Tiddly. This week we have a little bit to talk about. Not nearly as much as last week. I think the fallout from the review is over. We will see how all this goes. But we'll get into a little bit of housekeeping before talking about everything that we've been doing this week. You can join us live every Sunday night around 3:30 p.m. Pacific time and 6:30 p.m. Eastern on twitch.tv/Destiny Digest. You can ask questions live in chat, and that helps us shape the conversation for the show. Episodes go live the next day on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and Pocket Casts. You can help others find the show by rating and reviewing the show on your podcast platform of choice. 5 stars. You can say mean things about us, but it's got to be 5 stars. That's all I ask. And without any further ado, guys, how's your weekend gaming been?
Mine's been stuck in the mines.
Were you stuck in Caldera? Were you stuck in K1? Which
depends on the day you ask.
Fair enough. What power level are you right now?
After taking a week off due to GCX and getting back, I really only technically started grinding Monday. This past Monday, and I'm about 386.
Nice. Okay.
I think when I left GCX, I was like, I don't know, 210.
So. Okay. Way ahead of me. I don't even think I hadn't even cracked 200 until last week. So, like, kudos to you, man. Congratulations.
Grind don't stop, baby.
The grind don't stop. What are you finding to be the most useful? Is it just going into the mines, or are you breaking it up occasionally with other activities?
Oh, you got to break it up.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. Obviously, you could just sit in Caldera or K1 Logistics or the other one that everyone does. You could stay there forever and hate yourself and probably be 450 already. But then you would hate yourself, you know? So it's kind of like, for me, I like to mix it up, and I'll do about an hour and a half of whichever one is the more optimal one that day, either Caldera or K1. And then I'll go through the entire Fire Team playlist just with chat, really easy. Just go through the entire playlist with the exception of Onslaught, Savathun Spire, and Coil. Those are just not worth it.
Right.
Because you're wasting, I would be wasting an entire, to do all 3 of those activities, probably 2 hours, 3 hours, just for 1 extra drop per activity.
Yeah.
I skip those 3. And then I go through Encore, Starcrossed, Kel's Fall, Whisper, then back to those again for probably like another hour or 2. And between those, the entire Portal playlist, it's about 5 hours. Doesn't feel like 5 hours because I've done a bunch of different activities. And on average, if I get lucky, I've probably gone up like 25 levels, which isn't a whole lot.
Yeah.
But at least it doesn't feel like I've been in the mines.
Yeah.
You know, so
you don't come out with a dead canary. That's a good thing. I'm happy for you, dude. Tiddly, what have you been up to, bud?
Still 150.
Let's go.
Congratulations, bud.
I have absolutely completely disregarded the power leveling because I still don't want to.
Right.
But I probably will try to get in there at some point this week.
Before Solstice goes away, at least.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Honestly, I did a little bit of Solstice last night, but it definitely felt not like it was going to be worth it because I wasn't going to get any good drops out of it. So I was kind of like, well, I don't know. Maybe we should do some leveling. But yeah, no, I'm probably going to be doing some leveling in some raids this week. I did some raids this past week. but my mom and dad were visiting, and so it was kind of more of a limited gaming time situation for me this past week. But I still managed to get raids in every day. Also hopped in and tried the new Battlefield 6, and that was really fun. I don't know if either of you hopped in the beta, but we did that on Thursday. And that was really entertaining. It's chaos. I mean, it's just this really big team fight, and there's vehicles, and it just felt like a fun thing to do with buds. Like the beta was excellent, and like everyone's like, oh, it's a COD competitor, they hate each other, blah blah blah. Like it didn't feel. I mean, I guess they're both like more realistic, kind of like war type games, but it didn't feel like COD to me at all.
Right.
It's just I think it's fun, especially for somebody from like me who like I'm not like huge into PvP, but I like doing PvP stuff with friends. Like it didn't definitely felt like, you know, it there's a huge number of people, and you know, if things get chaotic and crazy, that's okay, because it's not like it's intense, but it's not like that intense, because you're just like, oh, there's like lots of people, and it's fun. It's fun. I liked it. I would play more of it for sure with buds for sure.
And then I did to sell me on that. He was trying to sell me on like, hey, have you tried Battlefield yet? And I was like, no, I haven't. And he goes, do you like chaos?
It is really chaotic. It is chaotic because there's vehicles. So there's like tanks and stuff like that. And like a warthog type vehicle. But then you have rocket launchers. So it is, and like there are some frustrating things about it. Like, you know, you do spawn right into, you know, your death sometimes, which is frustrating. You just spawn and die. That's that's always not a great feeling. And then I also did have some kind of like screen tearing, some like some visual glitching issues, because it's a beta, but I think overall the gameplay feels really fun. I think the maps are good. I think the chaos is really fun. It just feels like it's going to be like a really popular game on launch. I think it's going to be great. And then I played a little bit of Fortnite today, new season of Fortnite. That actually was really fun. It's got kind of like a Halo theme, so it's like there's like bugs everywhere.
And Power Rangers.
It's Power Rangers too. Yeah. So it's very I don't know, it's pretty goofy. There's also like some pretty intense power-ups that give you a lot of mobility. So that this is my first time hopping in the season, but I thought it was really fun and creative. So that's gonna be fun. And then Rivals 3.5 also started this week. So I hopped in a little bit yesterday. There's a new hero. Blade is actually the new hero. I haven't gotten a chance to play, but apparently he's like the only anti-heal hero out in Rivals right now. So that's kind of interesting. Especially as somebody who means healer. So yeah, that's fun. I'm excited to hop back into that. It felt like a week. I mean, I didn't have a lot of game time, but it definitely felt like a week where things have calmed down enough in Destiny that I could get in and play some other stuff this week. So that was actually really nice.
Heck yeah. That's great.
Yeah.
Well, so I finally went and saw Fantastic Four on Tuesday.
Oh, fun! Yay!
It was $8.50 to see it in like a Tuesday matinee. Nice. So I was like,
oh, that's the price.
All right,
yeah,
I'm in for that amount. I'll do it. And so went and saw that early, surrounded by children, but it was great. That was pretty fun. Really like that movie. I had to go see it after you guys hyped it up so much last week. So that was one thing that I did. I am almost 300 power. I think I started at 240 on Friday evening. I was 240 and I pushed myself up on Friday night and then Saturday night and then this morning before a help stream to like almost 290. Nice. So we're getting there. Probably
progress.
Probably while I'm editing the podcast tonight, I'll probably hit 300 or something like that and get that going. We had another thing that my community is doing and something that I wanted to shout out early is we're raising money for the American Cancer Society. We had a moderator and friend, Rogue Lyshel, pass away back in February. And within like just a few days, what my community has like raised $3,300 for that so far out of our $5,000 goal.
Nice.
So that was nuts, and thanks to everybody who's given so far.
Good for you.
Yeah, man, we got another
thing to
week of
do.
it. We got another week of it, so just looking forward to it. Yeah. So, shifting back to Destiny, how has everybody been enjoying Solstice?
I hopped in last night.
Okay, cool.
It's weird to have Solstice without Bonfire Bash.
Mhm.
So I think I find myself wondering what to do and how to grind it.
Mhm.
I did some of the like kind of the quest progression last night. Like I just, started ticking off boxes, collecting armor. It definitely feels like at this point, if I'm not leveled, then like what's the point of going really hard? So I feel like I do need to level before I grind more.
Mhm.
But I don't know, it's fine. I feel like they really nailed it with the cosmetics for the summer stuff for the event, and I don't know, I think all that stuff is really really good. But so I was in the store like spending all this money in the store. But I mean, as far as Solstice, I haven't gotten too much into it. I just played a little bit last night. I don't know what you
Right.
think, Dan.
Speaking of the store,
Yeah. Speaking of the store.
they took a lot of money from me this week. I'll tell you
I
that.
know. It's just how they're spending.
So
I was
I
like, this
will,
is
I
nice.
will, I will preface this with saying they have to stop. For a person like myself, they have to stop putting these really, 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 really nice shaders behind
Yes!
the silver paywall.
I'm
Yeah.
a sucker for the shaders. There's some
Because I bought
amazing
3 separate
shaders.
packages.
Yes.
Because I bought one
Dan.
because I
I'm
went
with
to
you.
I went to the tower
Yeah.
and someone had this insanely unique shader on, and I was like,
I need it.
how does he have what the? And I looked at it and I was like, what the heck is Chill Beats? And someone in my chat was like, it's in the store. And I was like, oh, right, this? They're so nice. And obviously it wasn't.
Mm-mm.
And obviously you had to buy one of those packages for this one was Fighting Lion.
Yeah.
So you had to buy a Fighting Lion package that came with a really cool helmet as well. One of those
Yeah.
fire helmets.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm not gonna ever use Fighting Lion, but I want the other two things. And then I turn around and there's someone talking to our Ool with a really nice shader as well. It looks like a roller rink. It was called roller rink. And I was like, okay, I know I've been gone playing Clear Obscure and all this, but like, when do they start adding these kind of shaders into the game? And they're like, this is in the store as well this season.
Yep.
And I went, I bet it's for silver. And I went back to the store and it was a 4 package of really, 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 really unique shaders for
Yes.
silver. And I was like, bye.
Yes. Take my
and
money.
So I bought that as well.
Yep.
And I've used them all. So I'm getting use out of it. But I just had to preface that by saying first, that's how my week, I probably should have prefaced my week with that first.
Your
pockets
are a little lighter.
Buying stuff in the store, all these shaders. That being said, I've actually really enjoyed Solstice. I know I kind of made a little joke last week regarding no bonfire bash.
Yeah.
It still is odd, like Tiddly said, because normally with events we have something visual.
Yeah. Yeah.
That kind of like shows
Anchors.
it. Yeah, anchors it. And we do still have Space Grandma in the tower. So I guess they kind of are using that. But like it is technically nice to be able to play whatever I want and still progress through Solstice like content or like Solstice objectives.
Right.
I do personally miss those bounties for Bright Dust for weeklies because I don't think they have those anymore.
Right.
And it was nice because all of the armor generally for Solstice is really cool. All the stuff connected to it. So it was nice if you were to just play enough, even doing like the additional bounties, you could spend enough time playing and not have to spend silver or whatever amount of Bright Dust you already had to buy those things. So I do kind of miss that, even though I have way too much Bright Dust, so I'm not affected by it. It is nice that they had that kind of system where, hey, you could, if you wanna, you can do all these bounties, earn enough bright dust. It's only 6,000, but play enough, you can just buy it straight out, so you don't have to spend silver or real currency. But Solstice itself, with all the modifiers, actually makes stuff feel really, really cool.
Yeah,
and
it feels like Revelry.
It kind of feels like Revelry.
Bit. Yeah, the solar stuff is really fun.
The solar like sun.
Yeah,
that like travels around. I kind of wish they can somehow use that and implement that just to be like a solar whatever. Because I think it's really, really fun, and it actually is fairly decent damage, and it triggers pretty often. Obviously, if they made it like a core thing, it wouldn't be as well as good. But I still kind of feel, just looking all the way back from the beginning of like when we started these events, it's definitely one of the better events, even without a targeted activity.
Yeah.
And it's also fairly rewarding for just playing content, no matter what it is, especially because I don't know if it's intentional, but you are always going to get, if you choose an activity with the Solstice like activity modifier, all the armor will drop one tier higher at least than what you currently are. I don't think that's the same for the level, but it is nice for players who might not be as high. It's obviously great for people that are already 400 because they're getting tier 5s out the wazoo.
Right.
But like even for someone who isn't, grinding as much, it is really cool for them to kind of shower players with extra rewards and higher tier rewards to kind of incentivize them to want to play that content more often. I don't know if that's something I personally felt, but it is really, 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 really nice to see a lot of really cool things added to a free event.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So
I really love that it's passive. I think I've said that several times on stream this week. Just like no bonfire bash, like I think I said this last week, means that I'm not going through and like the grind is already so much that you have to focus on those activities, and like having bonfire bash be just one other activity that you would have to partake in that may not feed into like the overall grind as much as just bonkers. Something I do want to shout out here, I really like the weapons this time around.
Oh yeah,
all the weapons are really good.
That's true.
Every single one.
I have not taken off the Yeartide Apex since I got it. Mine has Heal Clip and Incandescent. So
nice.
It's just gnarly. It's a 3 right now. But like I'm hopeful for future events.
That seems like a community favorite for people right now, is that SMG.
It's so good, dude. It's just so good. The bow, I haven't tried it out yet, but I did get a roll where it was repulsor brace and stabilizer rounds on it. So looking forward to trying that out. It also has the Vice Stinger. Well, that wouldn't really play into the bow so much, but it's just really interesting, like the combinations that we're getting this early in the event, and in like for that loot. It also, like in times past, I've criticized the game for not giving me stuff to replace the kit that I already have, and it feels like that with Edge of Fate they're constantly doing that, and it constantly feels good to pick up a weapon and just try it out and mess around with it. So that was a highlight. The armor, the set bonus on the armor is pretty neat too. Have you guys messed with that? Yeah.
It's actually really nice to see. And I know we talked about this when we first talked about Edge of Fate. All the set bonuses aren't broken, but aren't bad at all. And they all have some form of use case depending on your build playstyle or depending on your build in general, which is actually really, really good for build crafting. Because I look at I looked at the Solstice one, and I just look at all of them, and I just keep thinking of like, I could use this in this kind of build,
Right.
or in this kind of build, or in this kind of build. And it's always been interesting because the problem with build crafting for when you have build set gear sets in games is you have to balance between them being a must and them being just It's kind of like how we used to have those seasonal ones where putting on 4 armor pieces gives you like extra materials in the seasonal. It's like, I'm not going to use that. You know, it's
Right,
not worth it. You know, so it's nice that all of them are meaningful to someone.
Yeah. And like, you can like just slotting 2 of those in. You receive healing
and then the other
temporarily.
mixing of 2 and 2s. Yep.
Yeah, like receiving healing temporarily grants your solar weapons increased flinch resistance, handling, and reload speed. That's solid. Like that's I'm going to be grinding, I think, this week for more of the gear portion of it, or more of the armor portion of it, just to have those rolls so that I can slot those in for anything, because they're just so
It's going to be interesting whether or not you see FOMO from it.
Yeah,
like, I know that Solstice set isn't like a must-have, but imagine like the next raid comes out, or like imagine the epic raid, and everyone's using the resistance thing, you know, for damaging bosses, and someone's like, "Well, I don't have it because that was when I took my break." It'll be interesting how they fix the seasonal event gear sets. I don't know how you do it, but
I don't know. Like I could see them being like, well, this set for this event is like kind of locked in. Like we'll change it cosmetically a few times over the next few years, but like the set bonus is kind of the same. Like I could that way.
That's a long time if like we don't get it back. If we don't get it back until this time next year,
yeah,
you know, just that set or that perk.
Yeah,
they'll probably give the set perk to something else, but you know, still.
But we also have like Festival of the Lost coming around the corner too, and like that will have its like, I think it'll have its own set of
gear. A spooky gear set perk.
That would be cool, honestly. Like maybe it has like some sort of void iteration with it, like that would be neat.
Oh yeah, because Solstice Solar. Okay,
yeah. That's all like coming off the top of the dome, but like that seems like something that they're wanting to do. They're wanting to give us more toys to play with in the sandbox so that we can see how fun the sandbox actually is. And I know last week we gave Edge of Fate a 3, and I think rightfully so. But like, you know, as more events come out, I feel like that kind of highlights the portal system a little bit better. It highlights the armor system a little bit better. But yeah, I don't know. It's an interesting time in Destiny, and like I'm really like, having fun just getting those extra drops just for passively playing.
Yeah.
Cryo Phoenix in chat says finally the Festival of Lost mask gets a set bonus.
Listen,
you play.
They need to do something with all these masks,
like a peekaboo perk. Like if you go in Viz, pop out.
You disorient targets after you come out of invisibility for 5 seconds.
That would be cool. That would be cool. But yeah, I'm liking the weapons. I'm liking the armor set bonus. I think this is a win. How
do you feel about the armor? I feel like I should ask everyone that.
About the look of the armor?
Yeah.
I mean, it's standard, you know,
because if that armor is from years ago, which is interesting. I personally have no feelings about it personally, because most people that are playing now, they weren't playing back in 2017, 2018.
No. It's so 2019 armor.
Is this true? Okay. Yeah. So like, it's not like they weren't playing then, and it's obvious most people didn't start playing until Beyond Light.
A lot of people missed out on it, is what you're saying.
Yeah. Because I first looked at it and I was like, wait a minute.
I have that already.
I have this before. And then I went back and forth. At first I was like, well, you know what? No one's playing as long as we really have. And if I'm gonna be someone that I personally feel that like armor generally like this, like seasonal armor, event armor shouldn't be a FOMO thing. Like you can make an argument for Trials of the Nine, but I feel the same way. It's like
Yeah.
at this point, you might as well let people who are new to the game or still seasoned, but maybe wasn't even aware of Destiny 2 back then.
Right.
Give them another chance to access that armor. And for me, it's funny because now when you ignite it, yeah, there's a white glow.
Yeah.
Whereas back then it was like Solar, Arc, and Void. So you still have that. But now you got like a straight up white glow. So it's still something technically new for a old player.
Right.
And it's one of the better looking sets.
Yeah.
It is a nice set.
I'm whelmed by it. I have this set, but then again, I've been playing forever.
Yeah. It seems most people like it that didn't have it though. They seem like, oh, this is really cool.
I'm just transmogging everything now anyway. Like I'm getting to the point in the game where it's like, okay, I don't have to look like I picked a piece of gear off the ground and then just slapped it on my chest. I can kind of like look the way that I want as I progress now. And so I look at it for like 5 seconds and then change it to something else. So it's typically not like that big of a thing. Yeah, man. What are you guys thinking of, like, outside of like the giant sunburst and everything? What are you guys thinking of the events that or the modifiers that they added in, like the ball and everything else?
I think they're
fun. We're just like throwing the ball at each other last night, and then the slide kind of like consecration thing is also fun.
Yeah,
I mean the solar ones are really fun. I don't know.
I'm sure
they don't
didn't
feel
know
like
how it was
game
gonna affect,
breaking.
like the Fletchit. I was gonna say Fletchit Storm. I'm sure they're wondering like who didn't see this coming, but like because of the solar ball, you can just spam Fletchit Storm 24/7.
Oh, really?
That's kind of funny. Yeah, I had a person running Whisper, and they skipped the entire jumping puzzle, just Fletchit storming there, just totally just flying there, and then they're in the boss room. They just were in the air for 4 or 5 minutes, just tossing Fletchit Storm.
Fletchit Storm. That's crazy.
Oh man, yeah. I've realizing that I can toss the ball back and forth with people has, like, when I'm in match made fire teams, I've been a little bit of a menace. Because
they're teaching that mechanic, Dan. Are you ready?
Yeah.
They're reteaching it for Spy of Stars. I'm telling you. That's what I've been saying.
They're like, this is your training.
You got to learn how to pass the ball.
You got to be able to pass the ball.
I just keep throwing it at people when they're like jumping down.
Yeah.
Oh, you're that guy?
Yeah.
Oh man.
It just catches them so off guard, and it's great. It's been a lot of fun.
Someone threw it to me when I was emoting yesterday. I'm like, look, you didn't throw it at me, but like, you know how when you're emoting you can't see the ball.
Yeah.
Where'd it go? I don't know where it went. The ball is fun. The ball is fun.
The ball is fun.
Like the ball.
The ball is fun. Yeah. Solstice has been pretty great. All right. Well, unless anybody has anything else to add, let's hop into the news of the week, shall we?
Yes, chef.
All right.
Chef.
We had a Twid release on August 7th. We touched a little bit on some of the conversation around Solstice from there. Yes. We're now this first portion of the Twid I felt like was the most interesting portion.
Yes.
Like it's short and sweet, but it was like meaningful and needed. And I think highlighted that some of the things that we were saying last week are more broadly mirrored within the community.
Yeah. Yes. I feel like it basically highlighted that our conversation last week was heard by them, that like they're seeing this side of kind of like community conversation about progression. So it was really nice to see them directly respond to it right away in the Twid this week.
Mm-hmm.
Like, oh, they're listening. That's so nice. I'm glad they're listening. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, like, I don't think it was just us.
No,
just
for sure.
our
I mean, I'm
conversation,
not
but, like,
not necessarily listening to Destiny Digest, the podcast, but like they're listening to the greater
Right.
community because it's like the progression is a large conversation, I think, right now.
yeah, absolutely. And that was one of the things that we knocked it for was like,
Yes.
dude, the power
And-
progression was like it was in Tiddly. It was in the Tiddly row. Was far below the actual
Well,
rankings.
It wasn't just in the Tiddly row. It negatively impacted basically
Mhm.
like multiple components of the DLC launch
Mhm.
and continues to impact I think people's perspective, at least my perspective about the game and playing the game. So it's very broad. I mean, we gave it its own separate rating, but it broadly impacts
Yeah.
people's game experience in a lot of areas.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So we'll just start reading it.
Yeah.
They said update from the D2 dev team where we're at. It's been a busy few weeks here. The sheer amount of changes that landed in 9.0.0 with the Edge of Fate has had our team working hard to address issues raised and discovered by you, our players. We knew that the game needed a lot of fundamental changes to its foundation, and that making those changes was just the beginning of our work. There's much more to do to update and improve these systems and get them feeling dialed in. This is a snapshot of where we are and some of our areas of focus. So they said what we're doing. In addition to things that we could find and fix quickly, we have more queued up for imminent updates over the next few weeks, and more as part of our first post-launch major update planned for September 9th. They are going to be restoring the color vibrancy to the world tab, which will continue to live alongside the portal as an exploration-focused part of our activity offering. They're going to fix the reward preview being lower than the actual rewards granted when in mixed fire teams. For Kepler Mythic difficulty, they will be adjusting that to make it more accessible for solo play. I don't know if you guys have even touched that.
No, I've heard
At
a lot
all?
of people complain about it though.
I've done a little bit, but yeah.
Yeah,
I
heard
did.
a lot of people complain.
I did one of them in which it was like, it was fine. And then you hit the boss and it was like 30 minutes at the boss, like just plinking away. That was a little rough. Baseline raid and dungeon difficulty is being adjusted down, and higher reward tiers are being made more accessible. Contest modes will also bump the tier further. I want to highlight that so that we can circle back to that later. Restoring an infinite source for Bright Dust with the objective system update in 9.5.0 and an earlier grant to make up for the missing source. And 9.1.0 will contain much more than the above, including new activities and rewards in both the Edge of Fate and the core game. Following that, they say what we're planning. So beyond all of the above, we have much more in the works too. We've been hearing what you had to say over the past 3 weeks and have gathered your feedback to focus on several areas. Power progression is our most important topic right now, and we are still identifying the adjustments we plan to make. Progression is clearly slower than we want it to be, and we plan to generally increase the speed of progression for most players. Portal reward balance is being actively adjusted up and down to make more activities feel evenly rewarding. Fireteam Ops in particular is feeling too low right now, and we are working to make it feel viable to make good progress while playing with friends. Crucible Ops are also getting close attention. We are looking at raising rewards at lower ranks and increasing the drop rates for competitive or comp exclusive weapons. And then raids have good baseline weapons and armor, but drops are not high enough, are not a high enough tier, and not enough of the drops for the time investment. We are planning to improve both the tier and the drop rates in future updates. They have even more things planned for 9.5.0 Renegades reveal, but everything above is under active development and will be in the game in the coming weeks and in 9.1.0 in early September. They thank us for our patience and everything. They thank us for our patience and for our feedback in the final paragraph there. What were the major things that stuck out to you guys?
Probably the raid for me, obviously.
Yeah.
Like, obviously we have a dungeon, we have an epic raid whenever. and then we have a new dungeon sometime in Renegades. And at least personally, I feel like raids are still meant to be considered end game, which means that they should be one of the places to, if you can complete the content, earn some of the highest tiered, now I want to call it highest tiered weapons and armor in the game.
Yeah.
And, you know, the fact that they are dropping tier ones. Like I did a raid a few nights ago and my entire run was tier ones and I got one tier two. After finishing the raid. And it was like outside of its current power level, I just infused it because like no reason to keep any raid stuff. And Tiddly has said that multiple times since Edge of Fate that like guidance stuff and she's just gonna just delete it even though she was in a raid, which is crazy.
Yeah.
So I hope that they just I hope they reinvest time in deciding what they want in game to be and rewarding in game content.
Yeah.
They say that, and I hope that they, you know, keep to that.
Yeah. Pidge kind of crashed our comms earlier today during helps, and he did a 5 feet desert perpetual, and I think he said he got maybe a tier 3 or 2 out of it.
I have no reason to do I did a tier 2, and it was like I got one. Like everything was like mass worked, like the 2 slots or whatever. But it's like I'm not gonna use it now. Granted, I will say tiered weapons aren't as important as tiered armor. It's just nice for vault space, so I can get one weapon with all the perks I want. You know, no one really cares about enhanced like magazine and barrel. As long as you get the 2 perks you want, you technically are fine because most of the time we can only use 2 perks anyway at a time. True. It's really just conserving space because at this point, vault space is a travesty. It's just terrible. But armor definitely matters from tier 1 to tier 5. And the fact that like all my armor was just infusion fuel, just because it's a higher slot, but it's pointless. It's crazy. And the fact that you can do a tier 5 and get tier 1, like a feat, like a max feat raid, and still get tier 1s is just absolutely insane.
Yeah. Corlent said that they did a 4 feet today and got tier 4s. Maybe I also don't know like where Pidge is at in his Guardian rank either, and I don't know.
True.
You know,
I know Guardian rank will affect it.
Yeah.
But like does, but even then, like if you're doing max tier feats, my power level shouldn't matter. You know what I'm saying? Like the one thing I've found issue with the system, even though I like it, is that a lot of the most rewarding, like getting a lot of rewards at the highest tier, aren't connected to my skill. They're connected to just my playing time. Like if I'm like really skilled and go to the lighthouse flawless, I should be granted at least a tier 4 or tier 5 because I went flawless. Whereas I might only be 300, but I wanted to play this stuff instead. But then I have a teammate who was actually 400, and they went not technically flawless, but they still won 7 games. And they get to the lighthouse, and their rewards are all tier 4s and tier 5. That's just imbalanced, at least from my point of view. So if they can figure out a way to like bring up some of the skill rewards versus just playtime, which I know they love their playtime.
Yeah. And game rewards should be rewarding. Yeah. And I feel like that's definitely not the case. However, I would say that for people who are solo players, this is working out really well for people who are solo players. Like my husband plays the game a lot by himself. Like he'll just hop on, and he's way higher leveled than I am because he can hop on, he can hop in Portal, he can matchmake, he can like grind. You know, he is loving this. Like this is really, really great for solo casual players. You know, like for the leveling, for at least, you know. Yeah. So solo players, I feel like, are eating well. I really do. I think that this has been really, really good for them. I think, and that, I mean, I'm not mad about it. I'm not mad about it. But I also think that I think there should be a space for solo players to really have a good time leveling and have a lot of access to stuff that's going to be rewarding for them. But in my opinion, Destiny is a team-based game. The most fun things in Destiny are things you do with your friends, and in groups, raids, dungeons, activities with other players, GMs, challenging content where you have to coordinate and communicate, and trials, all of that. All of that and game stuff is the best. It's the best content in the entire game. And I feel like it like you should be rewarded for doing some of the fun stuff too.
Right,
yeah.
Like that game stuff should be rewarding, 1000%. But yeah.
Like
Yeah, because that's the good stuff. Playing together is the good stuff.
absolutely. The things that like some of the phrasing here when it comes to like baseline raid and dungeon difficulties being just like, so they're talking about just raids in general there. They also say that raids have good baseline weapons and armor, but drops are not high enough tier.
Yeah.
And not enough of it drops for the time investment. Like,
Yeah.
are they just talking about Desert Perpetual here? Are they talking about Desert Perpetual and the upcoming Epic raid version that is happening? Or are they talking about raids total? Like, we know that they're going to be adding, dungeons and I believe raids to the portal at some point.
They're adding raids to the portal?
Well, I thought that was in the conversation, was it not? Am
I only heard about dungeons.
remember that.
Okay. So I'm probably misremembering something. My apologies. So they're adding dungeons in. Does that mean that we'll be seeing like them get revamped gear, like getting set bonuses and a tier system like we talked about previously?
I think a
I
lot
don't
of
know.
people
That
are
was
hoping that they do that.
Yeah, because somebody asked that question. Was it last week? And we were like, heck yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah.
That'd be neat.
I would
I'd
love
love to
that.
see
It's like it makes perfect sense for them to, if they can not spend too much time on it, like if they can go back to all the other content we have and bring it up to the systems that we have now with the portal and the tier system without like whatever they're trying to make in a year or 2 years, but whatever they can do to bring up all that content without sacrificing new content, I would hope that they're
Mhm.
going to do.
I like that they're talking about increasing the drop rates from competitive weapons, because that's at least something for PvP play. Yeah, I don't know. I'm cautiously optimistic to see what these changes make. We've talked about it before, like them kind of like maybe swinging a little bit harder, like in another direction with an upcoming update with the power progress, and so like them talking about that out the gate, like with some adjustments, because it's tough. It's slower than they intended to be. They said. That's I think those are all good moves. I would like to see more about how they actually are going to change that. But
Yep, heard. I agree. I think that I read it and I was like, that's good. I'm glad they're looking at exactly what people are concerned about. I feel like they're trying to address stuff. So, but you know, and it is fair. I think the point that they make about this is a really big revamp. It is. It's a very, very big change, a huge change to armor and to the weapon systems and power progression. And so it's like, I get that it's going to be, there's a little bit of growing pains here. So, you know, I'm willing to give them a little bit of grace as they kind of figure stuff out.
right.
I don't feel like as a player that I am like severely restricted by the new systems, but I do, I'm starting to feel a little bit of FOMO with my grind and everything, like missing out on stuff.
They got to decouple that whole thing from level. If they do that, like Tiddly shouldn't be missing out on like Solstice high drops just because Tiddly hasn't lived in the mines for 3 weeks.
I haven't been mining. Yeah, I have my parents visited, so it's I'm gonna miss out. That being said,
grind for you. I'm just saying.
Oh my god, Dan! I put my mom in Overwatch once, right? I put her on Mercy. I was like, it's gonna be easy. She can play Mercy. It'll be fine. She can just like heal people. It'll be great.
Right.
She spent the entire time in spawn looking at the ceiling. It's so funny. It's just she couldn't move. I'm like, well, maybe she plays inverted. Like maybe she's an inverted player. I don't even know. Oh man. So yeah, that wasn't gonna work. Definitely outsourcing my grinding wasn't gonna work. But as far as FOMO goes right now, I feel like I am feeling a little bit, but I also know that that Destiny and Bungie, they do a good job of putting out like good new weapons as they go. So even if I miss out on some good stuff now, I know that they're going to put out more stuff that's really awesome. So I'm going to be able to get that too. So it's okay. Just right now I'm just like, oh my god, I'm so far behind. I'm far behind on my fun game. There's so much work. I love how everybody in the directory is like, I'm back to the mines. To the mines. I'm like, is this fun? Is this what we do for fun, guys?
I guess take the meme and make it a dream. I don't know. It's just like
I'm going to go back in my game and suffer until I can actually play the game that I want to play.
It's the hi ho off to work.
It really is. It's so funny. It's everyone is like, I'm going back, guys. Pack me a lunch. Going to the mines.
I'm really curious to see their player numbers because I bet they're like, man, these mines are really helping us out right now. Everyone's just constantly sitting there on the mine or whatever the active thing is of the day between Encore, when everyone's spamming Encore, when everyone's spamming Starcross, and everyone's doing the mines. It's like it's just a weird time to be a Destiny player because like who would have thought a month ago we would have been spamming Starcrossed or these random lost. I guess you can call them lost sectors now, but these random lost sectors now, just over and over and over, trying to get our better times, trying to figure out, do I need to go a little bit faster, or do I need to do this bonus objective? Oh, it's precision. I'm going to orbit. It's like
who knew? Who knew? I mean, I guess that was the conversation we had last week. Is what kind of game does Destiny want to be? The ongoing question about, is this an identity crisis, or is this like this is kind of what Bungie intends for us, and to be fair, I feel like there definitely are a lot of people who enjoy number go up, number go burr. I think if it wasn't, I think there are some absolutely marked issues with it, right? Like we talked about with the raid drops and like the FOMO of Solstice happening like when people aren't leveled. So there's definitely some marked issues with it. But I mean, I definitely think there's a whole subset of people who just are like, yeah, this is fun. I like seeing the number go up. I feel proud of it when I'm in a fire team with my friends and, oh, look, I'm 430. Look at me. I'm so fancy, right? I definitely get that. I get that. I'm like, oh, wow, you put a lot of time in. You're so fancy. Look at you go. Like I have friends who are really good PvP players and they come into a raid and they're like, I'm already 400. I'm like, holy heck, how did you get, I just play a lot of PvP. I'm like, well, that's great. That's great that you can do that in PvP. I love that for you,
Yeah. Rev, I believe, called having a job, like a job debuff today when it came to like
because Destiny's a job now too. Get off work just to get on your next shift at Destiny.
Dude, that's what I did Friday. That's the Friday and Saturday. That's immediately what I did. Jenny has not seen much of me the past couple of days, so trying to remedy some of that. I
know. Yeah. Well, the number went up, but it ended in a divorce.
Yeah, exactly.
You got to get Jenny in. So
my wife saw my power number and decided to stop.
She's like, oh man, I haven't seen a number that large in so long. Oh my Lord.
400. Who knew there was that
many? You go to the bar and you're like, hey, guess how high my level is in Destiny?
And they're like,
want to look at my large number?
Game ad.
Shut up, you can't buy drinks with that. Typically what they'd say as somebody who's tried it. Okay, so We also got more information about this as a security update. They said earlier this week, our product security team issued a ban wave to fire teams found to have been cheating during the Desert Perpetuals contest mode. Players who benefited from those cheating in their fire team were also included. This is in addition to the many bans that we've already issued during the race itself. In addition to this ban wave, we've also removed the associated post-game Carnage reports from their API. So breaking our community code of conduct, including cheating during contest difficulty or other activities, is bannable offense, and players benefiting from cheating can also be subject to punishment. And they also give you the contact form in case you want to report somebody. So, good.
Cheating is bad for everybody. Yep.
How many teams are in?
Wasn't it like
after that it was like 78.
78 teams?
Wild.
Yeah.
That's just crazy. It's wild.
And I think before then it was like 3,000.
Yeah,
nuts.
Yeah, no, that's just crazy. I mean, it
There was
also
a guy
speaks
who
to
was
the
like
raid itself.
1,200.
Yeah.
I think I looked up the number one clear person.
Oh wow.
He had like
Jeez.
1,200 clears, and I looked through his like listing, and all of them was everyone had 0 kills, and he had like 200.
Mm-hmm.
And every run was like 20 minutes.
Okay, that's definitely.
I was like, okay,
legit.
if you're gonna like try to cheat, why make
Can
it
you at
so
least make
obvious?
it like reasonable?
Let them get some kills, waste an hour or two or something. Jesus.
Yeah, just go get a snack and sit in an encounter for a while. Come on, make it look good. Make it try. Like that's.
They're not going to do that.
Oh man,
they're addicted to number goes up.
it is interesting because it's like how far will you go to to skip the content, right? And that's always been a question. I mean, obviously cheating is bad and wrong, but I think that you could also kind of apply it to the conversation around the power progression and like doing the most optimal grind, like or people like trying to skip as much as they can through like doing the activities, which is like,
yeah,
maybe if they had stuff that people enjoyed playing, then they wouldn't have to do that. But it's an interesting conversation, right?
Doomhammer in chat says they actually made me mad, the ban wave, not because they banned people, they did that rightfully so, but that they don't police PvP even remotely as hard.
I've heard that a lot since. Yeah,
that's a good perspective. I mean, what did you say
about PvP?
Mm-hmm.
What did you say, Dan, about the raids kind of being like a marquee marketing event, right? It's a marketing event for Bungie. It makes sense. I think that they had to address it PR wise aggressively because it as really like a highlighted community event, like with a lot of media, there was a lot of attention put particularly on this issue, and so they had to come down hard. I understand why they did it, but I think that point is absolutely fair. I think that they should address cheating like systemically, not just for this, but this. That's why they had such a public response, is because it was like it's an incredibly visible public event. Yeah, right.
Money is definitely.
They had no choice too because the first team that cleared cheated. So like you can't give your world's first to a cheater,
Exactly.
Because like people cheated in Salvation's Edge, and those people still have their emblems and their clears. But it wasn't as big. Like there was a whole thing about it where a guy was helping people through their Salvation's Edge witnesses, and he was doing max screen damage, like the big 9999 with Recluse.
Oof.
And it was a clip of it and everything. And he was helping people get their witness clears. And as far as I know, I mean, someone can say in chat or listen can correct me. I don't think those people got hit, but it wasn't as blatant. It wasn't affecting the world's first because world first has already been cleared by it was legit and all that stuff. But it was, I would say, if there was like this one guy did like 12. If there was 1,200 of those, there was probably like maybe 50 of Salvation's Edge. So it wasn't clearly as much. Mm-hmm. But when your world's first is a cheating team, you can't let that slide. It's just, especially when it's your big marquee event.
Yeah.
And it's unfortunate because Doomhammer is absolutely right. Because a lot of people under that tweet was like, you could do this for a raise. Why can't you do this to PvP? I was in trials last night, and what's his name was helicoptering around,
right?
With Recluse. It's like, it's interesting what they pick and choose when now it's clear they have the power to handle big events or big waves like this in such a short time.
I also feel like they try to like, so with this, just playing devil's advocate here. With this, it's like there's so many people so concentrated for this huge marketing thing, for this thing that is going to initially like bring them more money, like just from people knowing about the brand and knowing about the game, right?
Yeah.
And like, so they had to lay the hammer down for those people. I think primarily their philosophy, they like to do it on like a case by case basis instead of like,
Yes, instead of waves of bands. Yeah.
And like, I can see like something like this being a bigger lift than what they normally have to do. And then like, not saying that this shouldn't be something that they do regularly for PvP, but I'm just saying like resource wise, like how many people on the back end did it take to issue out this huge ban wave? Like how many of those people doing that took away from something else that needed done for like Bungie as a company or in the game itself? So like they're not playing with as nearly as many pieces as they were before. And so that has got to be that's got to be a consideration as well. That, I guess that leads us into this next our second topic of conversation. We have an article from the Video Games Chronicle that was released on August 7th. I put the link in chat there. Sony CFO says Marathon is expected to release before March and Bungie's independence is getting lighter. This is an article by Chris Scullion. In a Q&A session following the company's latest financial results, Sony's executives were asked about the current state of Marathon following the shooter's official delay and whether it was factored into Sony's forecast for the current fiscal year. The Sony CFO Lin Tao responded by saying Marathon is planned to release within the current fiscal year, which ends on March 31st, 2026. First, about Marathon, how we factored it in the forecast. We expect the launch to happen within the fiscal year. She replied via an interpreter. Having said that, this is not a commitment. No official announcement has been given yet. We're not doing modifications in development, or we are now doing modifications in development. And based on the progress in the autumn timeframe, we believe we can communicate when we will launch Marathon, either from Bungie or PlayStation. Concerning that last portion of that comment, talking about Bungie's independence. She said about the governance at Bungie, at the time of acquisition, we were offering a very independent environment. So this was one way of thinking. However, thereafter, we have gone through structural reform, as we announced last year. So this independence is getting tighter, and Bungie is shifting into a role which is becoming more part of PlayStation Studios, and integration is proceeding. So in the long term, if you can see this as an ongoing process, the direction for Bungie is to become part of PlayStation Studios. They said that they weren't going to be canceling Marathon, saying we are now fixing the problem, so we believe the launch will happen. If this launch is canceled, we'd need to do the revision of the valuation. However, as of now, this is not expected. So there's a lot.
There's a lot. There's a lot
in that article. Yeah. First thoughts. What are you guys hearing?
This doesn't mean it's going to go back to being a PlayStation exclusives type of thing. Mm-mm. So I've heard people thinking that. Like,
no.
Yeah.
They're not going to affect the game in that way. I would hope all this means is that they start prioritizing Destiny because Sony is going to make them prioritize Destiny.
Yes.
And I'm more in more of a sense that they clearly have seen the history of Destiny. And they say, well, do stuff like this. Do stuff like this, you know. So I don't know what this personally means. I've read a bunch of journalists give their takes on it. They're, expert takes. Mm-hmm. Who knows? But, like, if they're still giving them... If they're taking over Bungie and, like, Destiny and Marathon, but they're not taking over in the sense of, like, they're replacing people. From what it seems that they're not
Right.
doing that. They're just getting more hands-on-y as far as like the day-to-day.
Yeah.
Then they just gotta wait and see. I don't know what that means from Sony's. I don't know what Sony wants
Yeah.
at that point.
I'm wondering if some of the impetus for this is because of the shortcomings they're seeing with Marathon, and then also some of the struggles that Destiny is having right now. It's like they see Bungie Studios as this investment piece in
they
like
it for
a live service game, and they've been botching things, unfortunately. Even though I feel like Destiny is an excellent game product, and I think that absolutely worthwhile of investment. They're kind of like, well, we need to get our money back from this, so we need to put you under increased scrutiny to make sure that's happening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm not mad about it. I think Destiny does really well when it has like big money investiture, and I think that having a little more oversight over like maybe the C-suite that may have been directing some of like the devs in a direction that's not great is not a bad thing. And also I think that having played the Marathon beta, I think it's a fun game. I think that all of the copyright stuff was just terrible, and that they need to do better. But the game itself, I feel like has a lot of potential, and I'm glad to hear that it will be released, because I think that it could be a really fun game. I think that it has a lot of good potential. So I feel good about this. I feel like hopeful. I think this means that I don't think this means the end of Bungie or Destiny. I think that hopefully it means that if anything, they're just going to continue to invest and maybe redirect things in a better way. So I'm hopeful, I guess.
I'm looking.
The name is too strong, you know.
Yeah.
Whether you like current Destiny or not, like Bungie's name is going to ring bells in any studio. Mm-hmm. So like, they needed to be around.
Yeah. I think it's gonna be good.
I'm currently looking at PlayStation Studios page. So like they have Team Asobi that did Astro's Playroom. They have Bluepoint, who has done the Nathan Drake collection and Demon Souls. They have Guerrilla that have Housemarque, Insomniac, Naughty Dog, Santa Monica. They have the Santa Monica studio that handles all of the God of War franchise. It like, to me,
is Rockstar not a part of that?
No, I believe they're a part of 2K.
Part of 2K?
I believe so.
I know GTA 6 is
publishing.
Like gonna be like PS5 or whatever exclusive.
Yeah.
So I thought it had like some kind of like umbrella company type of thing going on.
That's probably some sort of deal that they made.
This deal? Okay.
Yeah. Helldivers Arrowhead is in there. We have Sucker Punch. You know, like there are so many studios that still have their own identity while underneath the Sony umbrella. And
so you're saying that you feel like that bodes well for Bungie not being completely subsumed in terms of their identity this entire change.
I hope it bodes well. I hope it bodes well for the developers.
Yeah.
I don't know what happens to Pete Parsons. Like,
I'm not saying that. He can go sleep in his car. He can go sleep in his car.
Yeah,
he's got enough of him.
At this point, maybe that's fine if he's like taken out of that entire consideration. Like, because man, like, I want Destiny to flourish. It seems like it's in a different trajectory now, but maybe one that is more sustainable and something that speaks to a quality that they'll be able to deliver on time against time. Because like looking at these games, like I can't think, like maybe like forgive me if I miss something here, but I can't think of one of these studios that has put out a game recently where it has been game-breakingly bad or like where the QA hasn't been the best. Like, because out of that, you have like Marvel Spider-Man, you have the Ratchet and Clank series, like Ghost of Tsushima. Like, I just think that like it's probably for them to rein the studio in more from an independent view. Maybe it'll be more helpful. That
one can hope. One can hope because the developers at Bungie are incredibly talented. They really are, and you know. still my favorite game. We all want Destiny to do well. We all want it to be in a place where they're getting funded, when they're getting supported. I think somebody in chat was mentioning micromanagement and how that's problematic. So hopefully not micromanaging, but giving them the resources and space to be able to create like wonderful gaming products. I think that I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
New eyes on the game could be like a blessing in disguise as well.
It could be good.
Think about it, you know.
It could be good,
especially from a production standpoint. Like,
Mhm.
but yeah, I don't know, man. Like, as long as it doesn't lead to layoffs, I'm cool.
Right.
I'm cool with it.
I feel like they've suffered enough. Like, leave them alone.
They have, like, just for the past few years, they've suffered like constantly. I just like,
you got it. And that's an entire conversation too. Then the article about valuation, if they don't release Marathon, because that is part of the question. If they have to change the valuation, what that means for staffing. So, but
because they have to hit benchmarks in order to like meet that valuation. It's just freaking crazy. I'm gonna grab these real quick. But yeah, that was everything I had as far as the news goes. We have a few questions from the community here that we'll just go ahead and have answered here between all of you guys. No layoffs except for the one person, huh, Dan? Yeah.
Layoff is 2,500 cars too.
I could zoom in. Black Zard is asking, what kind of armor set bonuses would you like to see for Festival of Lost? I'd love to see Void get some love outside of an artifact.
Support.
Ooh.
Support and tank is what the ones I would love for them to really lean into. Because we don't really... the easy one is damage and stuff like that. That's
vampirism.
We're in an era of like, we're just still really strong. So I would love to them. I would love for them to start leaning into the other things, not damage, tank, healing, XYZ, those things.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Good answer.
Yeah, I could see them playing more into like the vampirism thing, like of Void too.
Yeah,
like that just seems like an on the nose easy thing to me.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. I could. Yeah, I don't know. Like some sort of leeching effect at like 2, and then maybe like a weakening at 4, something like that.
Yeah.
Start like buzzwords to set bonuses. Yeah.
Would you like to see them? It's tough because like one of my first thoughts was the set bonuses could amplify certain verbiage of certain subclasses. But I don't know. Like thinking of it in depth, I was like, I don't know what that would really do. Like it would almost just be just more aspects or like something. But then I thought of Solstice, and I was like, imagine the solar ball that we talked about. Imagine if that was like a set bonus that changed your solar nade into like a big like sun or something. You know,
that's so much, Dan.
So I was like, that could be neat. It doesn't need to be game breaking, but like something to change the way I use my stuff could be fun.
Yeah,
so
that's fun.
Subsistence Sasquatch asks, let me try that again. Subsistence Sasquatch asks, crafting has been pushed to the wayside for now, but do you think that both the tier system and crafting can exist without conflict? I don't think the crafting system exists.
I don't think it's
now,
a thing anymore.
I don't think it exists now the same way that it did before. Like they really tried to make it work, especially with like the red border system, like trying to excite people with the red border system to go and pick up all those things. But once all those things are picked up, like what are you going to do with it? Right.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
I think the tier system now, how it's designed right now, is to incentivize drops over crafting.
Yep.
And like,
Yes.
outside of like exotics, I see crafting still maybe being like having that section because exotics are not touched by the tier system at all. Yeah. I still don't.
They're going to add it.
I don't know, man. Like,
I think they will.
How they've handled exotics in the armor and weapon systems is very weird. Like,
yeah, sure.
We've like, I still don't like the fact that you're forced.
What's funny is I see, because I know they're gonna want player investment. I see them going so far as giving it a random set bonus perk. Where you can have like an extra thing when you have 5 pieces on.
That could be cool.
I don't know why, but it seems like something they would want to do because a lot of people, like we've talked about, a lot of people have complained about exotics not being included in the system.
Right.
And I can see them just being like, okay, well, here's a tier. And by the way, here's a set thing where like you can roll with a random set piece bonus. People would hate it because, oh, now I got to regrind it all over again. Yeah. But I can see them doing it just because.
Yeah.
It makes sense that they want to put everything in the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Because sooner or later they have to. Because even though the armor system now is really good and all that, if you play in the content on the portal, you have segmented armor.
Mm-hmm.
You have just segmented systems you're dealing with. And even crafting is just like what are they gonna do with crafting? Like, are they gonna? Do you think they're gonna remove crafting from just the game?
I don't think they remove it. I think they just don't talk about it,
or just let it. Like, are they gonna let it die?
I think they're just gonna let it ride.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's such an interesting thing.
Yeah, so I feel like the original sunsetting was kind of like the stick, right? Like they were punishing. Yeah. People felt like they were being punished because they just hard like removed everything, right? They're like, you can't use this anymore. I feel like the current tiered system is more like a soft sunsetting or like a carrot system.
Right.
So instead of like a punishment, they're saying like, we're not going to give you the stick. We're going to bribe you to use the new stuff to convert to the new system. And I think players are usually more amenable to that type of approach where they feel like they have a choice so they can go and craft, but like the stuff that they're going to get from drops is going to be way better than what they're crafting. Yeah. So it's kind of like a kind way of trying to get the population to convert without like just saying, okay, you can't use this stuff anymore. It's sunsetted, right? So
a lot of the stuff in the crafting system we can't get, right? So it's like outside of the raids and the couple things Zer brings and Pale Heart, most of the stuff we can craft, you can't, like a new player can't get that.
Right. But they're also not saying like you can't pull that thing that you crafted out of your vault and not use it, right? They're just like Yeah. So I feel like it's kind of like I think that it absolutely shows. I don't know, but in terms of like existing without conflict, I think it just shows the direction they're trying to take with the weapons in the game. I think they're trying to phase out crafting, but they're trying to do it in a kind way. I think they're just like, we're not interested in doing this anymore. I think that they saw that crafting was deeply problematic to like a looter shooter where random drops are part of the joy and fun in playing the game. Crafting kind of took that like excitement around drops away. And it is a little bit like Vegas gambling, like, oh my God, what am I going to get? But that's fun. I think that's part of the enjoyment of the game and a looter shooter is having random drops and having like taking away that RNG or that kind of like randomness made the game less fun. And I think that they absolutely are intentionally moving away from crafting. I don't think I like the idea of a system that makes it easier for people who are more casual and can't do the RNG loot grind to catch up. But I think there's limitations and they probably took it too far with crafting.
Yeah. I think personally it's fine that they're removing craft. It's just I've had a lot of discussion of people asking, well, how do I get such and such weapon? Well, you gotta go craft it. Oh, well, how do I get the patterns or how do I get this or how do I get that? and it seems that the avenues to earn said whatever is in the past, or like is locked behind multiple walls to get it. So I'm personally fine with like a lapsed player or a new player having those kind of systems still to engage with.
Yeah.
But the pathing to it is just not good. So I it's like, if it's not straightforward for a new player, then why is it even still in the game?
So it's just, you're saying remove it entirely? I mean, they may.
They might.
Honestly, they might. I feel like at this point it's transitional. So at this point, they've put a lot of changes in. I think they're just trying to get players to organically convert before they remove it, because they don't want another sunsetting community drama situation to occur, you know? Because that was, people were mad. They were so mad.
Oh, so mad. So mad.
So bad.
Yeah, I just don't see them really investing too much more into that.
No, I think that it's like, we've tried this, we're done with this, we're moving on. But I think Dan might be right. I think they might remove it entirely eventually. So
I wasn't saying that they needed to remove it instantly, but it's just like, it's obvious that they aren't going to put more resources and time into it until they fully move everyone over and all that stuff. It's just interesting because there's still really good gear in those crafting systems, but the path to get them are not as easy because opaque, Portal has like changed the way you access it.
Yes, I agree.
I also think for a while there, like, the direction that they're going now feels more like they have a vision for it, whatever that turns out to be. They have a vision for what Destiny's looking like.
They know what they want.
They know what they want, and they know what they want the player experience to be. I feel like crafting and a lot of those changes that were made in the past have been brought about by maybe previous directors and thought processes of like, oh, well, the community wants crafting, so let's work out how crafting works within Destiny 2. And like they did, and like some people really like it, and then there's louder people on Twitter that say they hate it. You know what I mean?
Louder.
And like it's just like that feels like the way that moved. And I feel like under the new direction that they have now, they have a vision for what they want to do. However you want to feel about that. And it is probably a little less based on reacting immediately to what players want included in the game, and more so about like how players are reacting to things, to their vision of what's going forward, if that makes sense. We have a couple questions concerning the PlayStation Studios the PlayStation CFO's question or comments. Who's Eddie? Do you think more hands-on Sony could lead to some Destiny things being assigned to other parts of PS Studios to assist? Cryo Phoenix also has kind of the same question. But
easily.
But I don't know who. Like I'm also looking at this list here. Yeah. You know, like because
a lot of Destiny has been outsourced. To other like companies, like if you really think about it, all that content is not in there. But like a lot of the raids back in the day weren't even made technically by Destiny; they were made by like Vicarious Visions.
Yeah,
right.
That was under the Activision days, right? Like that's
So if you have a studio, you could definitely have some. You have some really smart people and really talented people at other studios that could have a new eye on content that maybe Ratchet and Clank's mechanics they pull over into a new raid, or they could make some new social spaces around what other like Helldivers, for example, or God of War. They could take that team and put some of God of War's armor or like just playstyle into Destiny. So having new eyes on the game isn't a bad thing,
right?
At all.
I don't think so either. I think it kind of goes into the point that I made earlier about resources. And how if you have an umbrella where a large organization has resources to bolster what Bungie already has, that's really positive because we want the devs to have more money, we want them to have more support, we want them to have more hands. As long as like outsourcing some of this stuff, they still have eyes and they still have kind of like the Bungie flavor and vision. I think it's only positive for the game to get resourcing under a larger umbrella of a company that can support them. I think it's really good for the game.
I'm looking here at the studios that are under the umbrella right now and trying to think of like who would be some studios that aren't working on like IP directly for PlayStation that like would maybe be able to take on some of that lift. It could be, but I really think that they'll pick like a handful of studios. Like they have Haven, which is a studio based out of Quebec, that just from a cursory glance looks like they do more technical support stuff.
It could end up being a studio that, at least from my point of view, looking at it, who is looking to do something drastically different than what they are known for. Or they could be someone like, say it was Naughty Dog and is Naughty Dog the one that made Last of Us? Whatever studio that made Last of Us, say they had mechanics that they wanted to put in Last of Us, but it just didn't fit. Or they wanted to take an idea that they wanted to put in Last of Us, but it just didn't fit, that they expand upon and put in Destiny. Because it's something totally different that works in the Destiny universe under Destiny, but just didn't work in Last of Us. It just doesn't work.
Yeah.
I could see a studio like that. They're a good studio. They have great ideas, but they're known for a specific type of game that finally has a new universe that they can work in to try new stuff with their expertise.
Right.
So it could be a positive, but it could be from a studio that we didn't expect.
Yeah, like I'm looking here. Like they own Ben Studio, which I believe did Days Gone. Haven looks like it's a technical support studio, so maybe that's something that they could help with QA. We have XDev that has worked. It looks like they've worked with Supermassive. They worked with Lucid, with Housemark, who is now owned by PlayStation, and it says that they, as part of its servers, they offer full production, management, funding, and game design support for their partner projects. Like Valkyrie Entertainment, their website has 2 games on it, which is Guns Up Mobile and God of War Ragnarok, and then it doesn't really have too much else about the studio there. So like like those to me seem like they're like PlayStation's in-house. Like,
that's what you're saying.
Yeah. They're in-house studios for helping things in the background. So like maybe in that way they would be able to lend some of that support to Destiny overall.
True.
But yeah, I don't know. I think it could be a good thing. I
can't see it being a bad thing. Like, I guess the only thing people are worried about is like Sony taking over and then absorbing Bungie in some way or something. But like, I don't see that happening.
I don't think so. I think they invested in Bungie specifically because they like what they're doing, right? And so I don't see them like trying to take over, like, but who knows? I mean, I think at this point, a change up could be really good.
Yeah.
So, because there's
I don't see Housemark making a Destiny, if that makes sense. Unless it's like a really like a true bullet hell Destiny. Like,
I mean, like, maybe that's what the game needs. Look at Fortnite. They got Ninja Turtles and Master Chief and Goku doing the gritty at the same time. So maybe we need something like that. That's drastically.
But I don't know. They already have like a full slate of studios that are working on like their prominent IP.
Yes. Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Housemark helping with roguelite and bullet hell mechanics in Destiny 2 would be killer. It would be killer, dude. Returnal is underrated.
Yeah.
That game is so good. And I'm looking forward. They have another game that's coming out soon. I can't remember the name of it, but it looks cool too. It's going to be bullet helly like Returnal is, but I think it has more of a horror tinge to it. Yeah, I don't know. Jagmasters, the buyout was live service mainly. Yeah, like.
Would this be their only like live service game? Like I know they tried to do like Last of Us Online or whatever, but
they tried to do a Horizon one too, and that didn't go to plan either. But yeah, like Bungie was acquired because they had unlocked what live service was on consoles.
Yeah,
like so that helps. Yeah,
I guess Helldivers 2 could be considered that. Yeah, Matt's right.
More limited in scope, but yeah, absolutely. All right. Well, those were all the questions that we received. Unless anybody else has anything else they want to add, I think that's our episode.
A short one today.
Dude, shortest episode in a while.
Crazy.
Yeah, man.
It's been a lot of news for a while. Let's be honest. You know,
yeah,
it's been a lot to cover. The last couple months.
We're kind of easing back into that portion, like of the cycle of like, there's not a lot going on probably until September.
Until September,
yeah, and then we'll be on it. So, all right, good stuff. Well then, if that's everything, let's get to telling people where they can find you on the internet. Tiddly, where can people find you on the internet, friend?
Yes, I stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Tiddly, Monday through Friday, 9:00 Central for Auditory Caffeine. And also you can find me on Blue Sky, and I'm Tiddly on Blue Sky.
Epic Dan 22. What about you, sir?
You can find me on the twitch.tv/EpicDan22. On the YouTube at EpicDan22, on the TikTok at EpicDan22. If you Google EpicDan22, you'll find me everywhere.
Heck yeah. And my name's Danfinity. You can find me on the Twitter and the Instagram and danfinity.gg. This week, if you take away one thing from my schedule, is that we're raising money for the American Cancer Society. We are so close to our goal of $5,000. If we get so we're at $3,300 right now. If we hit $4,000, I'm giving away a neon fade emblem in chat. And then if we hit $5,000, I'm doing a week of a sloth head stream, which the sloth head looks like this. So if you've ever wanted to see me wear the sloth head for a week, that's at 5K. So I'll be including a link in the show notes for those who want to donate. Yeah, that's pretty much it. So thank you all so much for listening to the episode. Enjoy your week, and we hope you find what you're grinding for.